The group stages of the Rugby World Cup are done and dusted. Some deep disappointment for some overbearing joy for others. Today we'll have a look at the good, the bad and the ugly. Stay tuned and enjoy. How's it guys, and welcome to Couch Coach Sports. Today I've got with me my assistant coach Bjorn. Bjorn, brother, how are you doing?
How's it going, guys? Dean, brother, I'm doing great as always. Bumper-packed weekend of sport, rugby, football, action-packed, obviously.
Yeah.
Fantastic for me. What about yourself?
Oh, bro, always fantastic. Looking forward to the weekend as always. But brother, let's get stuck right in, brother. First, the good.
Straight into the news.
The good from the group stages of the Rugby World Cup. First point, bro. The Boks are through, safe in against France.
Finally, we can settle our nerves. There's been some big conspiracies this week. We saw Russia and his little following of Ireland and Scotland only on, I think it was Twitter.
Yeah.
So a big relief. I thought Scotland would actually put up more of a fight against the Irish. I'm a bit disappointed with the Scots.
Yeah.
I thought, even though we did see a fight from Piers Koeman, I don't know if you saw the former South African fucking rolling the Irish.
Yeah, bro, fucking getting stuck in there, right?
They maybe not winning the match on the field, but off the field they win the battle. Yeah. Fucking real braveheart shit there. But yeah, very happy for the Bokke. A little bit nervous. Dupont obviously seems like he's going to be back. We've mentioned before the French home crowd. They've been crazy. They've been ecstatic. It's been a vibrous, a venomous French crowd. So a bit nervous, but I back our boys. I back the Bokke. I think we're going to do quite well.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Speaking on the French crowd, I think it's been like an absolutely beautiful thing to see. The attendance at the stadiums. I mean, even tier 2 games were getting like 40,000 people. I think it's a kudos to the French for hosting an absolutely brilliant tournament.
Even though they shouldn't have the tournament in the first place. We know it should have been in South Africa.
Exactly.
Corruption. But well, even there. The French fans weren't involved, and they've been spectacular. I think they've done an amazing job.
Yeah.
They've really given some life to the tournament. We saw this in 2007 though. Yeah. They used to play that trumpet tune that actually fucking spread across the whole world. For fucking 10 years that song was played at every stadium across every sport. But yeah, the French crowd, I've been pleased with them. I think they've done a great job.
Exactly, bro. But let's focus, move back a bit to rugby. Tell me, bro, your favorite team so far? Who's impressed you from, let's say, the tier 1 and tier 2 nations? And yeah, bro, give me 3 teams that have really impressed you there.
Tier 1, I'm gonna go with the 4 big boys. I think they've all done well. I think South Africa, Ireland, even New Zealand losing to France. I think they've showed in the following games that they fucking there to compete. They're not going to go down lane without a fight. So I think that I have to go with the top 4. I can't just pick 3. I think all 4 of them, they all stand a chance. The other 4 teams that qualified for the knockout, there has to be a fluke or something that has to happen. But just looking at performance-wise, I don't back any of those 4 to do anything. England, Argentina, Wales, or who was the last team and Fiji? Yeah. I don't back any of those 4 to do anything. But yeah, so from tier 1, definitely the 4. And then from tier 2, I've got one team in particular. I think everyone's going to mention this team after their record-breaking win this weekend against Fiji. Portugal.
Yeah, bro.
I think the Portuguese have done it outstanding. I think every single game they've actually looked good. They did well against Australia. So the Portuguese, definitely for me. I know you're quite a big fan of the Portuguese. I think there's a centre that you quite fancy.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I think he's one of my players that impressed. We'll talk about that a bit later. But I think the quality of the rugby all around has been high level, bro. Obviously, we expect it from a World Cup, but I'm glad to see most of the teams showed up. We've had some exciting games. We've had very few boring games, bro. It's just like, of course, I understand it's World Cup. Everyone's playing their best rugby. But sometimes it's very easy to get a boring game, and we're very lucky that we haven't got in that situation, and we've had the exact opposite, bro. Some exciting, crazy moments from World Cup.
Like you say, even the tier 2 nations, they've been playing some really exciting brand of rugby and quality rugby, technical rugby, not like what we used to see from tier 2 nations at the World Cup.
Exactly, scoring some crazy tries, and it's not like at no point can the team sleep. I mean, even like you look at Italy's performance against New Zealand. That's not. It's bad performance from Italy, but that's a firing All Blacks team sticking it to an opponent, bro. That is such crazy rugby to watch, brother.
The All Blacks have huge momentum going. Even though they lost the first match we saw in 2019, the Bokke, exactly the same thing happened. They were going on to win the tournament. So don't write the All Blacks off. You can never write them off.
Exactly.
On the day, they can beat anyone.
Exactly. But yeah, those are some impressive performances from those teams, bro. Let's look at individual players. Some guys that have impressed you. Some individual players who you think have played well.
Well, we're gonna go with 3 again.
Yeah, let's go with 3. Let's go with 3, bro.
3 that stand out in particular. Number 1 for me, we have to go with Bandi Aki.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's been a quality player for a few years for Ireland now, but I think this World Cup he's even stepped up his game a little bit.
Yeah.
He's looking superb on the offense and the defense. We saw how pivotal he was for the Irish win against South Africa. For me, it's actually between him and Naya Selevu, the Fiji outside centre as well, the captain. For me, between the 2 best centres in the world at the moment, even though Naya Selevu is not on my list for top 3. But I think Bandi Aki definitely number 1. Then number 2, Damien Penaud.
Yeah.
You can't leave someone off a list that scored 6 tries in the group stages. Some of his tries you could say were a bit just of like a run-in. But still, you have to be at the end of them. He was at the end of them. 6 tries. He's on course to probably break the record unless the South Africans knock the French out this weekend.
Yeah.
But so Damien Penaud number 2. And then number 3, we mentioned the All Blacks and their good running so far. He hasn't been playing against the big nations. Probably won't be playing this weekend. But Damien McKenzie, I think, needs a shot.
Yeah.
We saw his offload against, Italy in the last game. Was outstanding.
Yeah.
You got that ball on the line, getting it back to Will Jordan for a lovely try. I think Damien McKenzie himself, he scored 5 tries. So yeah, number 3 for me. So top 3, Bandi Aki, Damien Penaud, and Damien McKenzie. 2 Damiens. And yourself, brother, who stood out for you?
Yeah,
There's obviously
good
been a
players,
few
bro.
good
Yeah,
performances.
those guys have been top notch. For first one, let me go to 2 nation. Rodrigo Mata from Portugal, the outside centre.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with that guy, bro. For someone who's like,
I know you're a big fan.
Unknown player, bro, to like take his opportunity like that. There's gonna be some big teams giving him calls, bro. He's scoring tries, making his tackles. A solid player.
Expect him in top 14 next season.
Yeah,
Top 14, definitely a shout for him.
For sure. And another one, bro. Obviously, Aki, I have to agree, bro. He's leading the best team in the world, probably. And like you say, bro, best sense in the world. He's absolutely top notch, bro. Man of the match performance after man of the match performance, you know. And then
he's world class.
And another one, someone that's also going home, bro. That's impressive. Obviously, like, you know, I want to pick the Springboks, but I don't think they've been like particularly good individually. They've been very good as a collective, you know. So I
agree with you. There's been no individual performance from the Springboks, but as a unit, I think everyone has kind of gotten up to the plate and played a good game.
Exactly. So I'll move away from the Springboks teams and move to somebody who's going home, unfortunately. But Darcy Graham, bro, I thought he was electric, bro. His speed, his finishing, his shining light for a pretty good Scottish team. We're just probably unlucky that they were just in the group that they were in, you know. But
a group of death for them.
Exactly. Darcy Graham, I expect big things from him going forward, bro. Especially if that Scottish team builds on that momentum and the class that they do have. Bro, he and that team can do some great things, you know.
You mentioned that the Scottish momentum, but aren't they a bit of bar 2015? They're a bit of a weak side when it comes to World Cups. This is now second consecutive time they're dropping out at the group stage. Obviously, this time it was a very difficult group.
Yeah.
But did you not expect a bit more from the Scots against the Irish?
In a way, I did. But also at the same time, you know, like South Africa and Ireland, they're just very unlucky. And bro, this is probably the most impressive Scottish team I've seen in a very long time. I don't remember them being like at this level. They're always in Six Nations competing with Italy for the wooden spoon vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they're actually a nation that can beat anyone on their day. You know?
Yeah.
So
they built themselves definitely into a general top 6 type of team.
Exactly. Putting them in Wales or England group, they also go through easily, bro.
they go through. No, I agree with you. That's a very good shot. If they were in one of the Group C, Group D, as we've said, the weaker groups, they top both those groups.
Exactly.
So
exactly, bro. But let's then move on, bro. The bad. I'll start the glaring light at the World Cup. Obviously, the refereeing, bro. Some of the decisions, bro. It's just we spoke about all the technology that they've got now. I understand, bro, that they're reffing probably the most difficult game in the world to ref, but bro, there's just the consistency just kills me, bro.
Yeah, but did you also see like refs like Nick Strawberry? Strawberry's a joke, guys. He's Nick Berry. He's been ridiculously bad. Like his last couple of games he's reffed. I mean, the times he's reffed the games, it's been chaotic.
Bro, it's just
so it's no
control, bro. He loses control of the game.
And you've mentioned before, I know as well with the technology, we've spoken about VAR in soccer and what a big fucking fuck up that's been so far this season. What's your opinion of the whole TMO situation? Do you think rugby gets it right? Do you think there's needs improvements? Do you think there's the technologies there, our refs aren't competent enough to follow through? What's your thoughts?
I think sometimes that the refs they kind of want to back their own calls and they steer away from it, bro. I think if it's there, use it. You know what I mean? In Russia, where I play now, they've got it, when TMO is available, they kind of overuse it in a way to compensate for it's difficult to say bad reffing, but decisions that they maybe don't 100% know, they always go to TMO. And I think the refs of a higher class understand that they're at a higher class and they kind of want to make a decision themselves before they rely on the TMO and that type of thing. But I think, bro, TMO, you got more eyes on a particular situation with it's slowed down and you can see it from every angle. If it's there, use it. That's how you get the best call. There's no reason to not just take a second, think, you know what, we're not dealing with a Curry Cup game or something. These are two nations. Yeah. And a lot of decisions are coming down to this determines a lot for a lot of people, bro. This is nations, bro. Use the fucking technology.
So you think the big problem is the man with the whistle? Yeah, he's the one actually causing all of this.
The problem probably comes from there's just too many laws in the game, you know?
Yeah. I was actually thinking about this the other day. You know why soccer, or as we say football, is such a popular and such a well-loved sport is because of how simplistic it is, how easy it is to understand. Just the concept of the game, even if you just play it in an easy way without offsides and that type of things, it's such an easy game. Whereas with rugby, you have about 10 laws for every situation. You got lineouts that you got laws, a million laws. Then you got scrum, million laws. Lineout throws. You've got forward passes, knock-ons, offside, 50-22s. I mean, for the casual fan trying to get into rugby, it's almost impossible at this stage.
Exactly. But you know what? For the next, at least now, the knockout games, they kind of get to filter out the edge. The referees on the edge and get the best guys in there. Jacob Paper, Ben O'Keefe refereeing our game. Yeah. So I think we'll be seeing a lot better performances, bro. Obviously, we say we've seen some bad performance, but we've seen some top-notch refereeing performances too. So we can't put them under too much fire.
This is definitely a topic we need to divulge into a bit more, but that's obviously for another video. But I think there's some interesting points, some psychological points that I think people haven't considered as well with the referee that we can chat about. So I think that's a good future video there for us.
Exactly, and we'll definitely move on then. So give me, bro, three teams. Let's exclude Australia. Remember this. Three underperforming teams at this World Cup. Well, let's general underperforming teams. You don't have to give three. Give more.
Do you have something planned for Australia there or something? Do you have something in mind for them?
Definitely, bro.
The Wallabies are not waltzing anymore. Waltzing Matilda all the way home.
Matilda's running home, brother.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the three worst or underperforming teams.
Yeah, just some teams you think just should have done better.
Italy for one. Yeah. I don't necessarily think they should have gotten out of their group. I think just the performances they put out were shocking. Yeah, bro. I think both their performances against France and New Zealand is not the performances of a team of their standard. Also, I think they've got a good coach in Kieran Crowley. So the performance, I think, is on the players. There was some exciting. I actually thought Italy looked. Obviously, they played the weaker teams in the early stages, but I thought Italy looked quite good. And then all of a sudden, losing that one game, they just dropped out. So Italy is definitely a team for me. Another team I think that is actually were very disappointing because I think they started to get the right structures in. I think they do have quite a few good players in their side. I think this was a big opportunity for them to pick up a World Cup win. Namibia. I think our African neighbours, I think they were quite disappointing. I thought there was, like I said, I thought there were some really, really good quality players in the side, some Curry Cup level players. So you'd expect a bit more from them. And then lastly, underperforming sides. Let's go with Tonga. I thought Tonga, with the amount of ex-All Blacks they got into their side, just didn't live up to expectations at all. Ben Tamafuna, obviously, he's gotten a few highlight clips from his actions, his little goose step, his barraging runs. But yeah, I think there was quite a few in the guys in the Tongan team that disappointed. What about yourself?
I think I'll go with both those Pacific nation sides, Tonga and Samoa. So Samoa is like, in particular, bro, the way they started off just was so slow, bro. You look at the quality in the English game, you see like what these guys can do, bro. Maybe it was the decision of starting Leilofana over Sapawanga, but just look at the names, bro, in the teams. They just should have done better, bro. And I understand it's probably a case of that they don't play together enough. They're not playing against a highly ranked competition enough. But I expected a bit more. We spoke highly of them before, and we were excited to see what they would do in this tournament. Although they had their moments, they still have to think it's disappointing. Another team,
they didn't live up to anything.
Exactly. Another team that heavily disappointed, that we hyped up a little bit before World Cup, was Georgia, bro.
Flip, they did.
Exactly, their worst performance at the World Cup, bro. They just, again, woke up too late, bro. And
they were by far the actually, now that you mention it, scrap all three of those teams. Georgia by number one was the biggest underperforming side of this World Cup.
Exactly, bro. And the problem with what disappoints me is that they had the opportunity to make a statement. They always talk about that they want to be playing in Six Nations. They want to get inclusion in the high level Europe rugby, bro. Now they've got the inclusion into the Heineken Cup with the Black Lion team. So, they kind of leave Europe rugby and world rugby in a position to say to them, well, you guys aren't performing, so why should we put you
Especially if you look at Portugal.
Exactly that. So disappointing for them, bro. Disappointing for us. But yeah, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, also if you look at Australia's form, we're going to speak about them soon, but just look at their form leading up to the World Cup. They didn't win a game until Georgia. Yeah. Georgia should have pounced on that opportunity. They let it go through their hands. And see, I agree with you.
Yeah, bro.
Horrible performance from the Georgians.
Exactly, bro. So give me 3 players that disappointed you. I know it's shit to look at individuals negatively, but we have to, three disappointing players for you, bro.
3 players. I don't necessarily want to target any tier 2 nations because just sometimes for these type of players, just getting to the World Cup is such a huge opportunity.
Exactly.
Usually what you need to look at is the players that you'd expect a big performance from that didn't deliver. Yeah. And one of them, I know we're in agreement with this one, but it's Maro Itoje from England.
For sure. It's top of my list too.
Yeah, you go?
Top of my list too. I agree with you. Do you?
Yeah, I don't think he was anything spectacular. We haven't really heard his name. And he's supposed to be up there with Eben Etzebeth as one of the best locks in the world. Yeah. But where's that enforcer role? You haven't seen anything from him. So definitely him. You mentioned Tonga and Samoa earlier. We have to go with one of the Samoan players, Christian Leilofana. Yeah, I expected more from him, ex-Wallaby, all that experience as well. Obviously coming of age now. But you'd still expect a little bit more from him. We saw the difference. You mentioned it as well with when Sapawanga came on for England. The difference he made compared to Leilofana. So Leilofana was number 2. And then number 3. Let's think. I got one. And it's not necessarily, maybe not down to his own fault, but Scotland's Hamish Watson. Yeah. We've seen him perform for club before. He's one of the outstanding flankers in the URC. I don't know if it's just a lack of game time or what it was, but he's another one. Same with Itoje. You just didn't hear anything about him.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. It just was ghosting, brother. Ghosting.
And yourself? Itoje, I know, is on top of your list.
Itoje, I don't in particular like English rugby, so it's maybe
Yeah,
why.
same.
But it's just he's always had such a hype around him, and all the years they rate him so highly. Like you said, against Eban, all these guys who
It's
really
every
do
single
like.
English player though.
Exactly.
Marcus Smith, Owen Farrell, they always do it.
Exactly, and he just it's not performing like
Yeah.
the pundits rate him at. Another one,
Yeah.
probably from Australia, Samu Karevi, bro. You know,
Oh, good call.
bro, he's in a team that Eddie Jones backed form and a little bit more youth. You need someone like that to stand up and take take the role upon him to move that team forward, especially when Skelton got injured, bro. I think Karevi just, although he didn't play particularly bad, we've seen a much better versions of him throughout the years, bro.
Yeah.
And we're so used to seeing him play against our teams and destroying us. We didn't see that at this World Cup, bro.
Nothing, no.
You know,
He was quiet.
Exactly. The Fijians, he put in a few hits, but they put more hits on him than he did on them, bro. It's like
Yeah.
It's a standpoint of pride alone. I think he should be standing up a bit more in games like that, you know. And thirdly,
No, I agree with you,
bro. And thirdly, I was leaning a bit towards David Niniashvili from Georgia because of like how badly they played the Georgian team, what they did. But he had his moments where he really showed like his class, bro. Towards the end, although in the beginning he made quite a few mistakes and everything like that. But he's a younger guy. He pulled through. But the guy who disappoints me, Charles Pieta, bro. For a guy who is the second highest paid player in the world, bro, I understand you're playing for a team that's not particularly the best, but you have to be the shining light.
You should still have your
bro.
moments. You need to have your
The
moments.
quality he's at, the level rugby he plays at, he should be the shining light, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had he been in top form, who's to say they maybe wouldn't have pulled one or two extra results out there, you know?
Yeah.
So
No, I see what you're saying.
yeah, for sure. And then, bro, so that's that. We move on to the ugly, bro. And there's one glaring yellow, bouncing ugly. Australia's performance.
Continents of ugly.
Bro, Australia's performance at this World Cup. What the fuck,
Bro, was it really unexpected though? Was it really that? I mean, when you look at their group and it's Australia, they should be getting through their group. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But before Georgia, they were winless. Eddie Jones's reign was zero. Was 0 wins, bro. That should be telling of what's gonna happen at this World Cup. And then leaving out Michael Hooper and Quade Cooper, two of your most experienced heads, leaders that could have helped. Probably would have pushed them over the line. Probably would have gotten them over the line. But at the end of the day, they're not on the plane anymore. I'm sure they've landed, but they're in Australia.
They landed. Nobody was there.
Nobody.
Yeah.
People have to go to the beach.
Yeah, bro. Fuck no. That's it.
So I agree with you. The Eddie Jones, the whole Australia situation has just been fucking horrible.
Bro, they just, we will have to definitely do a video analyzing them. They just, bro, they at no point look like that the Australia of past years when, you know, these guys, if on their day they'll beat us, bro. You know, they're always knocking on the door of like, they can win. This was the first time you look at them and think, there's no way these guys can win.
Chance.
Bro.
But even look at them throughout the World Cup eras. They've always done well. It's always like semi-finals, always finals, winning World Cups. But now, they're almost out of the top 10. I think they're about 10th. They're probably going to be 11th soon if they keep playing like this. So they're going to be out of the top 10 very quickly.
Exactly, bro. And it's I think we'll have to deep dive into it. But I think it's a bit of dark times that they're heading for at the moment, bro. Like, in terms of they're trying to pick up league players to improve them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that their Super Rugby teams are particularly good. You know, you think of like they one of their major franchises is struggling against one of our lower franchises now in the Toyota Cup, bro. You know.
Toyota Challenge, Cheetahs.
So yeah, bro. They will definitely do it.
What is your thoughts then on Eddie Jones though? Because I'm actually a big fan myself. I'm a big fan of Eddie Jones. I think he got a lot of stick for the way it ended in England.
Yeah.
But before his move to England, he was probably the highest touted rugby coach in the world. Like, he was just on the brink of joining the Stormers. I think he did join the Stormers and then ended up going to England. But it just doesn't seem like it's a match. It doesn't seem like the Wallabies and Eddie Jones are meant to be.
I think it was just timing, bro. I think it's just he just didn't have enough time working with him, bro. You put him in the role 1 year before World Cup. You know, like he's a fantastic coach, but it's not a miracle worker, bro.
He made mistakes though. Leaving out, like we said, Quade Cooper and Michael Lupo, it's big mistakes, bro. It clearly costed them big time.
For sure, bro. I think it's, like Sonny Bill Williams said, bro, he's all for development of players and young guys, but you develop them for World Cup, you know what I mean? Not develop them in the World Cup, bro, you know?
Yeah, you need them to be ready World Cup time.
It's like Quade now, especially the situation where Skelton got injured. How much relief would it have put on Eddie's shoulders to say, oh, no worries, I've got Mike Hooper here who can take over captaincy, and we can just put an old head on the field, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the James Slippers of the world and stuff. It was a very young Australian team.
Exactly.
They looked inexperienced. They looked like a Super Rugby team trying to play World Cup rugby, if I could put it in that sense.
Just disconnected, bro. Disconnected.
Yeah.
Another thing on the ugly, bro, that we have to touch on is just obviously some tier 2 nations played well, Portugal in particular, but on the whole, the gap between the tier 1 and tier 2 nations is just ridiculous. Chile, the Chilean coach spoke about this, like not getting access to high level games and coming to the World Cup and just making it's pretty much like a circus, just getting smashed like that. It's just not a good image for rugby sometimes, you know.
No, I get what you're saying, and I know you're a big advocate of this, and obviously the biggest problem that they're not playing tier 1 nations consistently, or is it more of a problem that they're just not playing high level rugby, like their players aren't playing club level at like a high level? What do you think the solution can be? Do you think we need some promotion relegation situations for tournaments?
Yeah, but I think that's probably the best thing you can do. I think, these smaller nations, obviously their players are normally spread out quite a bit. You know, a lot of guys playing in France, a lot of guys playing here and there, and obviously their leagues aren't particularly strong. So they're at their strongest when they're at a collective in the national team. Yeah. But that national team can't be playing against other teams on that same level and expecting to improve significantly before World Cup. Sometimes you get an exception. Portugal, yes, they've got the formula right. But on the whole, bro, they're just an exception, bro. You know, you don't want to be seeing these teams taking beatings like they are and everything. How much more interesting would that World Cup have been if all those tier 2 nations were on the same level as Portugal?
Yeah.
And
no, I get what you're saying, and it's like maybe you would know better being that side, but who does, like, Georgia were both like our worst team of the World Cup, and we expected a lot more from them. We also that they a team that's actually looking to build to the future. But who do they actually play? Who do they play on a consistent basis?
The Portuguese, Georgia play against each other quite a bit. Netherlands, Belgium sometimes.
Spain, Romania,
Russia.
These times.
So that's that league to qualify for the World Cup. So they play against each other quite a bit. But like I said, bro, you look at that level of rugby, those guys don't get to play against the bigger nations. Georgia have been fighting for this for many years, bro, because they want to improve their rugby, and that's the only way they're going to be able to. But because they dominate that. They qualify from that group every World Cup, you know.
Yeah.
And they win that tournament every year. So
it's also just like you mentioned, rugby IQ. Like if the Georgians start mixing with the South Africans, start mixing with the New Zealand players, not just the players, let's say the coaches. You get a Georgian coach, they come for a tour to South Africa.
Yeah.
Why not go for like a crash course with the South African coaches? You can go at the end of the tour, you go take a few practice lessons with them. You know, that's how you build and learn and grow.
Well, they definitely do that, bro. I think they've had tours to South Africa and New Zealand where they do like interact in that way. But I think the problem then comes with finding their rugby identity on the field. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can have
trying to copy the other teams.
Exactly. You can have this influence from other teams and other styles of play, but if you're not able to implement a mixture of that style with your style on a high level, you know, against high level opposition, there's no room for growth, bro. You stagnate. I think that's the problem with Georgia
Yeah.
now. They've kind of stagnated on that level where they don't get to improve. You know.
Because they're not getting that high quality opposition.
Exactly. But hopefully, World Rugby look into a promotion, a relegation type of style with the major tournaments, bro.
But that's, you know what we say, for that's tier 2 nations, that's only Europe though.
Yeah.
What about teams like Namibia, teams like Samoa, and then they got Australia and New Zealand actually. So a team like Namibia actually, and Chile as well, they're more unfortunate because they pretty much just got Argentina, Chile, and Namibia pretty much just have us because it's very expensive going on big tours and stuff, and these smaller nations can't afford it.
Exactly, bro. It's a difficult situation. But anyway, brother, that's our show for today, guys. Thank you for joining your Couch Coaches. Please like, please subscribe, and join us next time. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.